Getting into the pulse reading, right. Oh yeah, so you get hay fever as well, no?
Yeah.
So the histamine response is quite high. The sinuses are showing a superficial immune response to something that's coming into the nose and causing irritation. So histamine is coming up causing inflammation of the tissues in the nasal cavities and the sinuses. And you get it at the eyes as well a bit, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. There's low histamine diet. I'll send you a low histamine diet because there are some foods which have higher amounts of histamine in and other foods which create a stronger histamine response in the body. If you remove those during hay fever season, then the symptoms can come right down. Oh yeah, and there's also some mucus production. But also, do you get any acid reflux?
Not really.
But there's some vapors still coming up. Oh God, you can feel in the lungs as well. The pollen is also. Have you been coughing?
A tiny, not like from illness, but a bit from allergies. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's the pollen effect.
And I've been staying with my sister who has a dog, which I'm slightly allergic to.
Oh, are you? Okay. Yeah. No, this is the pollen more, I think. Oh yeah. So the stomach acids are marginally overactive, but also the pollen's got down the throat as well. So it's caused a little bit of irritation down the esophagus into the stomach. And then, you like cheese, no? You eat a fair amount of cheese?
I try not to, but recently I did, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that's partly why there's more mucus in the sinuses, slightly more pressure in the head. Have you had a couple of headaches recently?
Right now I do.
Right now, okay.
Usually I don't.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably rushing around this morning because there's some stress, like holding tension in to try and get around. And with the digestion, do you get tired or bloated after eating?
Sometimes.
Yeah, so it feels like there's also some issue with yeast as well, with baker's yeast. There's not so much there's some inflammation from the pollen anyway, so it's not entirely clear how much is coming from wheat. I don't think you're particularly sensitive to wheat. I think it's more the yeast.
I used to be.
Are you what with wheat?
Yeah.
I say it will be wheat as well.
About 15 years.
Oh, okay, so it will be the wheat as well. But it's also the baker's yeast. It's much better if you are eating it to have sourdough. But even better not to eat it, or to have a spelt sourdough or something like that. Or spelt pasta. How about sleep?
I generally don't have trouble going to sleep, but I often don't get quite enough.
And is your mind overactive when or is that because you're going to bed too late, or because you're waking up? Oh, okay, so that's your fault. So that's easily remedied. Yeah. But you get jaw tension as well, then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because the mind is a bit overactive because there's some anxiety. Do you drink coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's probably largely coffee. How about ginger, chili, cinnamon, stuff like that?
Yeah, I have a bit of...
Energy drinks?
No.
Spirits?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it would be the coffee mostly. So it's causing a bit of chronic tension in the colon, which means that the buttocks, around the kidney area, not so much the abs, it's often the abs, through the chest a bit and around the base of the skull and the jaw, a bit of tension as the mind is going through circular thinking. It's coming back around on the same issue quite often, and it's not getting resolved, so it just keeps coming back around, and this tension is, overthinking, worry, basically. Trying to come to a resolution on these topics. The microbiome is pretty good. Do you know about the microbiome?
Yeah, I've been actively trying to improve it.
Have you been on probiotics, or you've been having fermented foods? Fermented foods are fantastic, except in hay fever season if you get hay fever. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the shoulders are looser. I was expecting the shoulders to feel stiffer as well. The neck's quite stiff, but the shoulders are looser either because of your work or you're doing any regular exercise?
The climbing.
Climbing, of course, climbing is going to get the blood moving through the shoulders. So that helps loosen it up. But then you're at a desk quite a lot, so then the blood flow reduces and then you move it again. So, yeah, I mean, you could get slightly better flow through the shoulders by just doing some general exercises through the day. Let's switch sides and do the opposite side. Oh, so you do have that part where you can get more, I was going to say anxious, but anxious is not really the right word. You can get more focused on the things that need doing. But actually, where I normally feel anxiety with the heart, you don't feel very anxious. You feel like you can be very calm and easygoing at the same time. And the heart muscle itself, do you do any cardio?
I've been starting, I've kind of been slacking a bit recently, but I'm getting...
Have you traditionally done more cardio?
No.
Oh, you haven't? Okay. Well, the heart muscle feels very smooth, and often cardio will be involved with that.
I suppose maybe light cardio, but never like intense.
But the valves, the chambers of the heart all feel like, and the coronary arteries, the arteries that feed the heart muscle itself, all feel nice and open and flexible, so they're working well. So your heart health is really good. But you can be occasionally a bit self-critical, but it's sort of only there at times. But self-critical thoughts can get lost. They're not helpful or enjoyable. If you notice any, just delete them. Yeah, so there's one thing on the other thing with that worry, it's like trying to work things out, trying to really, it's quite an important thing, like I was saying with Sophie. But then on the other side, there's a real easygoing, real patient, really considered approach. There's quite a sort of dichotomy between the two. And part of it is coffee, just making the system, making the system a little bit overactive and a little bit tense and strained from increased adrenaline. And then the liver's a bit inflamed, so that'll be wheat again. And there's a little bit of fat around the liver, which again is more cheese than sugar. I don't think you have a lot of sugar, do you?
I try not to have too much.
Okay. If this feels more, it's a thicker quality. But just like larger people will carry more fat on their surface, slimmer people will often carry it around the liver. And it can be from either fat or sugar. This is more from fat though, so is why I'm pinpointing cheese. Or peanut butter, do you have peanut butter much?
Yeah.
Yeah, so both cheese and peanut butter probably. And the liver is a little bit tense. Again, that's when you're very active and you're just trying to fit too much in, then stress levels can go up. Then I think the headaches come on. But the movement generally through, so alcohol intake is reasonable. Trace minerals coming in through fruit and vegetables is reasonable. Protein is reasonable as well. Caffeine and alcohol, particularly the caffeine. Just I'd say it'd be better to have a bit less. Yeah. But again, the movement through the liver generally, when we're stressed, we'll squeeze the liver tense, and that can stop the movement of fluids and nutrients through the liver. But actually it feels good with you, it feels like they are getting through well. So actually maybe, I suspect coffee probably causes more stress, but then alcohol helps to loosen it up again.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
and exercise. Yeah.
Relate to that.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, and then lower spinal stiffness as well, yeah. And into the pelvis. And round into one hip as well, yeah. So there's not really the pelvis being tilted, is it? Pelvis being tilted? Oh, so it is a bit being tilted, but it's coming from the lower spine. And it also slightly aggravates the headaches because of the alignment up through the spine. And then knees a little bit. Have you got one problem knee?
I don't think so.
They're both a bit inflamed at the moment, but were you like climbing yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like running, cycling, swimming, that sort of stuff. It does just cause inflammation and it goes away again. It's no big deal. Okay, great. Yeah, and then the prostate feels good, which it should be now your age.